What's up guys, David Rodriguez here, and in today's video I'm going to go over my own personal process of how you can start to train and implement and create your own workouts for your own benefit and having goals that are specific to you as opposed to maybe just picking out another exercise from the internet or another group of workouts from the internet and they're not really supplementing what you want. And especially within this time that we're all stuck at home, this will be something easy for you hopefully to follow along, and you can start implementing and creating your own workouts for you. So let's get started. When it comes to organizing a goal, it can be multiple things. It can be just one thing. It just depends on what you're looking for during when you're developing and writing your own program and your own block of training. So for example, you could be looking to get stronger, faster, bigger, more cut, more explosive, or maybe you're looking just to develop some mobility and different end ranges of motion that you may not have, or you're looking to develop a skill that you don't have specific to your sport. So for example, my goals for this, these are going to be more training centric, more calisthenic body weight training centric than my previous training blocks have been. So I'm going to be looking towards developing my overall strength to be able to handle the demands of tricking. That's one. And two, I'm going to be looking towards developing a straddle or a full planche. Never been able to do a full planche. I've only been able to do kind of a half crappy straddle. So I'll probably work towards building the straddle planche and then working to close my legs and developing a full planche. So it's just as easy as that. You just write your goals down. What is it that you're wanting to do? What do you have in mind to develop whatever it is that you do? Write those goals down, implement them. So it's easy to say goals, right? You say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Well, now it's time to actually try and implement and do these goals. So how do we do this? This is kind of typically where people get confused. They don't know, they're not sure what exercises to choose. They're not sure what reps they should be going into. They're not really sure about sets and kind of just sticking things to the wall. And that's why most people default to online workouts that you find in Men's Health magazines, whatever, blah, 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 without actually understanding what their goals are or how to actually achieve their goals. So whenever it comes to my training, this is going to be supplemental to my tricking. So this is not going to focus the whole entire block, right? I'm going to be tricking a lot more than I am going to be doing this body weight, mixed heavy weights and weighted exercise training. So I'll probably only be doing this maybe 2 or 3 times a week, depending on how I feel during that whole time. Now, so the way that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do what's called undulating periodization. Now, this has worked for me in the past. This is how I was able to achieve my one-arm pull-up. And I really like it because it allows me to take all 4 of the previous movements that I've talked about: squat, push, pull, and hinge. I can put it all into a nice little workout, a nice little bow, and bam, I'm done with the workout. And I am doing all 4 of those movements within one single workout because, as I said before, this is supplemental. This isn't my whole actual training, right? If I had to do this every single day, I probably wouldn't be doing this every single day. I wouldn't be putting all of those movements together every single day. If this was supposed to be the majority of my training, I'd probably be doing a little bit different. But this is what's worked for me in the past, and this is what I'm going to go for again. So I will be back with my exercise selection, and then I'll go through and explain why I chose the exercises that I did. All right, so I've written out everything that I want to do. So now I'll go through these exercises and explain them to y'all as I go. So you'll notice that, especially with the legs part of so the squat and the hinge part of this training block, that it's going to be a little bit challenging. I don't have weights. I much prefer using weights when it comes to developing your legs, whether it be for strength, power, explosiveness, things of that nature. It's not that you can't build muscle or get stronger with just body weight training with your legs, but it's just a tiny bit harder. But as tricking is going to be my main focus for my legs, I'm not necessarily worried about whether or not I make strength gains. I just want to be strong enough that my body can handle the demands of tricking. So for my latter days, we're just going with either just regular dumbbell squats. I have some dumbbells and just use those for my squats. I think I have up to 30 pounds. That'll be sufficient enough to handle the needs of my training for this. So, and also squats for just, again, making sure that I can push off the ground, jump into the air, things like that will be good to go. Push-ups for my working towards my planche. Now, push-ups are just the very beginner, obviously very basic skill that you need. There's nothing wrong with doing your basics. Make sure you do your basics. Same thing with pull-ups for my pull. Same thing. I can already do a one-arm pull-up, but nothing hurts. And I just think I like the movement a lot better than, I like one-arm pull-ups a lot better than I do muscle-ups. And because pull muscles aren't necessarily really used a whole lot for tricking, other than for maybe whenever we're twisting, just regular pull-ups will be sufficient enough for you if that's what you're looking for in your own training block. But again, for my latter days, I'll start with pull-ups. Now for my hinges, again, because hinges are going to be a little bit harder to develop, so this is going to be mostly for your hamstrings and for your lower back and for your glutes. It's going to be a little bit harder to develop with just only body weight, or with like lighter weights like dumbbells. However, it is still possible. There's nothing wrong with it. So I'll be either doing kettlebell swings or good mornings, and I'll be doing that for 3 sets of 10, going through those exercises. Moving on to my more medium days, this is going to be going for 4 sets of 6. So now we're going to start making my squats and hinges just a little bit more specific towards tricking. So now I'm going to be either doing lunges or split squats, so more one-legged work. Because again, from tricking, everything depends on typically just one leg. For my push, pseudo planche push-up, I just move my hands from here from my chest down closer to my hips. Just makes the lever and the angle of what I'm doing of the push-up much, much harder. And it has more specific and more carryover to developing a full planche. Incline one-arm pull-ups, again, similar thing, similar idea. I'm just going to be in an incline. It's going to be a little bit easier than a full-on one-arm pull-up, but it's still going to give me enough work that I can pull, and it also pretty much mimics the twisting part of tricking and whenever you're doing your twists. For my hinge, I'll either be doing, this is a little bit more specific to hamstrings, but Nordic curls or single leg deadlifts, which mostly mimic gainer switches or swings of any kind. Now finally, for my heavy days, this will be going for 5 sets of 3. You can also up it up to 5 sets of 5. It just depends. Again, if I could, I would be doing heavy squats, but I can't. So I'll be doing pistol squats or shrimp squats. Now I will probably have to up the rep ranges from my pistol squats and shrimp squats to probably 5 sets of 5, if maybe not just a little bit more, just to make sure that I'm getting enough stimulation and actually getting in enough work, as opposed to just doing it 3 times and it's not that bad. Now for my push, negative straddle planche push-ups. So what all it's going to be is that I'm going to try and go up into my straddle planche, hold it for a small second, and then just slowly lower myself down to the ground. Even if my feet touch, that's not a big deal. I'm just going to try and lower myself down as much as I can. Reset, go back into my straddle planche, and then go back down again. For my pulls, assisted one-arm pull-ups. So I'll probably have a towel or a ring, one arm up here. I'll pull myself up to the pull-up bar. Or if I am feeling good, normal one-arm pull-ups instead, but that tends to go into 5 sets of 1, and even then I can only do that for maybe 1 or 2 sets before I have to call it quits. Heavy deadlifts. So now for my hinge movements, heavy deadlifts, and again single leg deadlifts, having to modify how heavy or how many reps that I'm going to have to do to make sure that I get adequate amounts of stimulation for making sure that it's actually a heavy day and I'm not just repeating myself from the training day before. So this is David Rodriguez. I hope that this helped you. If not, please hit me up on Instagram. Stop tricking. I'm doing programs for free. Because if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And there's no skin off your teeth. And you just be like, hey, that dude's an idiot. Who cares? So please follow me on Instagram. So like, subscribe. Especially now, these times where I have no money. But again, I'll be doing programs for free. If you would like, hit me up, let me know. Hopefully this video helped you. And if not, you have more questions about what it is that you need to do, please again feel free to let me know. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Peace.